Welcome back to The Explainer. Today, we are going on an absolutely fascinating journey. We're going to be looking closely at the profound interpretations of teacher Lin-Ming Shang, who is just a master at breaking down the incredibly rich and honestly sometimes esoteric world of Pure Land Buddhism. What we're really unpacking here today is the ultimate power of a completely focused mind, because teacher Lin provides this incredibly detailed, almost mechanical explanation of how deep, unwavering concentration can literally, fundamentally alter our reality.
It really all starts with this massive foundational question. Can a single, unbroken thought unlock the gateway to liberation? Think of this explainer as basically a how-to manual for mastering your own mind. It's based on ancient spiritual texts, but it's interpreted with just incredible clarity by teacher Lin. I mean, in a world full of constant distractions, what actually happens when we focus on just one thing perfectly without ever breaking?
Okay, let's dive into this with a quote that sets our stage perfectly. Bodhidharma, the legendary patriarch, said, "The mind is the gateway of a lifetime. The mind is the ford of liberation." And teacher Lin-Ming Shang uses this idea to anchor everything. The mind isn't just a tool, right? It is the actual doorway. If you know how to operate the door, you don't have to worry about being stuck. This is all about achieving a level of deep, unwavering focus that unlocks literally everything else. So to actually open that door, teacher Lin gives us a very specific definition: one mind without confusion. Now, what does that actually mean in practice? Well, he explains this as continuous thought after thought, reciting the Buddha's name, absolutely never letting the mind flow into a second thought. It's the complete, total elimination of mental distraction. We're talking about a laser-like clarity where there's no multitasking, no wandering mind, just a single, pure stream of consciousness. Now, what's genuinely fascinating is how teacher Lin-Ming Shang breaks this down into a highly practical toolkit. He details these 4 faculties you can use to achieve this state. First, you have the tongue faculty, physically reciting continuously. Second, the mindfulness faculty, holding the concept without a single break. Third, the thought faculty, keeping your attention fixed without shifting at all. And fourth, the reflection faculty, anchoring the mind so it becomes as firm as a rock. Teacher Lin says you can use all 4 of these together or, just focus on one. It's this completely customizable framework for mental mastery. He contrasts this absolute laser focus with what he calls mixed practice, which is essentially just a distracted, divided mind. And to prove the sheer power of singular dedication, he references an ancient text, the Yellow Emperor's Yin Fu Jing. It says that if you cut off distractions and draw from a single source, your effectiveness increases tenfold. But if you reflect on it continuously day or night, it increases 10,000-fold. It's basically the ancient equivalent of the ultimate productivity rule. Singular focus creates exponential results.
So the crucial point is, what exactly are we putting all this focus on? In teacher Lin's complete interpretation, this singular focus is directed in what he calls the supreme mind-purifying treasure. This means fully relying on the 6-character name Namo Amitabha Buddha. He describes this not just as some chant, but as a miraculous mental elixir. By filling your mind entirely with this one phrase, you effectively squeeze out all the other anxieties, karmic baggage, and confusion.
Let's move along and see how this builds into something truly extraordinary. Teacher Lin provides a breathtakingly precise timeline of the final transition. First, the physical life root ends, but instantly, a golden light shines in the void. Almost immediately after that, Amitabha Buddha appears, and the practitioner's mind light merges perfectly with the Buddha light. In the literal blink of an eye, they are reborn in the Western Pure Land. There's no fear, there's no confusion, just a seamless, instant transition powered entirely by that one unbroken thought.
And teacher Lin paints this arrival with just staggering visual scale. I mean, imagine this. Amitabha Buddha appears with a body of pure purple gold. The white tuft of hair between his brows isn't just some small detail. Lin describes it illuminating the cosmos like Mount Sumeru, the massive center of the universe. He's flanked by Avalokitesvara on the left holding a lotus and Mahastamaprapta on the right holding a jeweled banner. It is just an awe-inspiring, majestic welcome for a purely focused mind.
And this brilliantly illustrates a really profound shift in teacher Lin's teachings. We go from the absolute microscopic internal focus, just a single unchanging thought, straight to the macroscopic, boundless cosmic scale of the Pure Land. Master the smallest thing inside you, your attention, and you suddenly unlock an infinitely expansive new reality outside of you.
Let's actually immerse ourselves in the sensory details teacher Lin extracts from these texts.
Because this isn't just a pretty place. The environment itself is a perfectly optimized classroom. The ground is weight of 7 joules, but it's as soft as cotton, yielding 4 inches right under your feet. The wind blows through jeweled trees, and instead of just rustling, they actually sing teachings of emptiness and impermanence. Even the miraculous birds, the Kalavinkas, created directly by the Buddha, are constantly singing the Dharma. The entire environment is effortlessly reinforcing a pure state of mind.
Life there is described as utterly, completely free from friction. Time isn't tracked by ticking clocks, it's tracked by lotus blossoms opening for day and closing for night. If you want food, it just appears. If you want a specific water temperature in the jeweled ponds, it adjusts to your exact thought. Beings there possess supernatural powers and pristine forms. Teacher Lin explains that because the mind is pure, the environment responds directly to intent, completely free from all the fatigue and sorrow we experience here in the human realm.
Now, all of this cosmic scale and profound philosophy is incredible, but you're probably asking, what does this profound practice actually look like in the real world? Like, is this just theory? Well, to ground Teacher Lin's interpretations, let's look at an absolutely incredible, verified true story that proves this level of focus is attainable by anyone.
This brings us to the story of Li Mama. Back in the year 2000, in Kaohsiung, Taiwan, lived this truly remarkable woman. She was completely illiterate and worked tirelessly her entire life. Yet, she raised a son with 2 PhDs, and honestly, more importantly, she was considered an everyday bodhisattva by those who knew her. She was deeply humble, incredibly hardworking, and out of pure compassion, she would manually sweep her entire neighborhood street every single morning.
To really understand the absolute purity of her mind, just consider this staggering number: 1 million. Way back in the 1960s, an acquaintance owed Li Mama nearly 1 million Taiwan dollars. To put that into perspective, that was enough to buy an entire 3-story building on a main street at the time. And the woman just vanished. But Li Mama didn't hold a single ounce of resentment. She actually comforted her own children, telling them the woman must have had unavoidable difficulties. To forgive a life-changing fortune without a second thought, that is the real-world definition of a mind without confusion or attachment.
So, how did she achieve that level of total peace? Through staggering daily discipline. 30,000. That is the fixed quota of Buddha name recitations Li Mama completed every single day. While she was selflessly sweeping those streets for her neighbors, her mind was completely anchored. She was actively utilizing that tongue and mindfulness faculty Teacher Lin talked about, cultivating her pure focus day by day, year after year.
And here is where the story gets truly astonishing. One morning, Li Mama told her daughter that Amitabha Buddha had actually appeared to her in the night to take her to the Pure Land. But because there was a severe cold front happening, she actually negotiated with the Buddha. She asked him to delay her departure to a warmer day at an earlier hour, purely so her children wouldn't have to travel in the freezing cold. And according to her, the Buddha agreed and vanished. Her focus was so absolute, her connection so clear, that she could literally negotiate her own time of passing.
And exactly 1 week later, when the weather finally warmed up, she proved it. She bathed, deliberately changed into her practitioner clothes, which she never normally wore around the house, sat perfectly upright in her living room holding her mala beads, and peacefully departed. The timing was flawless. It was even the exact anniversary of her late husband's passing, which spared her children an extra day of memorial services. When her family arrived, the entire house was filled with an unlit sandalwood fragrance, and her children even reported seeing a vision of her on a lotus up in the sky. Which brings us right back to our final lingering thought for today. Is a single, unbroken thought enough to cross the boundless sea of suffering? Through Teacher Lin Mingshang's meticulously detailed framework, and through the breathtaking real-world example of Li Mama, the answer presented to us is a resounding yes. It really challenges us to look at our own scattered minds and ask, what could we achieve, and what kind of peace could we unlock if we just learned to truly focus on one pure thing? Thank you so much for exploring this with me today, and I hope it leaves you as inspired as I am.